And Josh, I know there was another thing you wanted to talk about,
Mhm.
and I want to piss some people off.
Well, let's get into that then. Um, Power Rangers, the new movie, Once and Always, I think it's called. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but Matt, I'm gonna give you the floor on this since you
I
have some thoughts that piss me off. So let's go ahead and
I
do
don't
this.
even need a lot of time
Hmm.
to tell you. Bishop, did you watch it yet?
No, because you told me not to, and like I'm
Yeah,
not like a
it's okay.
huge Power Rangers guy.
Well, good,
Like not
Bishop.
anymore, not anymore.
Save that hour of time and do something productive because it was
But it's only an
such
hour.
hot garbage.
It's only an hour long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
55 minutes.
that's why I said
And
you guys
I
should watch it because it's not gonna kill a bunch of time for you, and I figure it'd be good to talk about since it's new.
I
I
mean, all I can say on it is I've heard it is hot garbage,
it is hot
and that is
garbage.
it.
It is hot garbage. I'll give you
Well,
my take. It
it's
was cringy.
who did you besides Matt? Who did you hear it's hot garbage from? Because all the reviews are for people who actually like Power Rangers. Absolutely loved it, like me. And a lot
Uh,
of Rotten Tomatoes has it at 83% right now, which doesn't happen very often. So, yeah,
I just seen like a bunch of things on Instagram, and I was like, and like I'm not saying the movie's like horrible, but like I just haven't been into Power Rangers for a long time.
hmm
It was
Because it seemed like a
bad
lot of the
and
stuff turned
cringy.
into like cash grab stuff, and I was like,
this was not that at all.
yeah.
I think that's one of the good because I made a good and bad list. My good far outweighs my bad. There is some bad. There's some really bad to it. But here's the thing about Power Rangers. Like one of the things I have in here for bad is bad acting. Well, let's be honest. In Power Rangers, they were never good actors. They were all martial artists. The only one who was an actress was the woman who played Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson. That's why she went on to continue acting after this. But there's that, and then the other really bad was the Megazord fight was really bad. The CGI like I remember in the original Power Rangers they actually used guys in suits and then they just like zoomed in on them to make them look huge and they were on sets that looked like cities. So kind of like they used to do with Godzilla back in the day. But this one they went full CGI and it looks like they paid about $50 for whoever made the CGI on this because it's bad,
Well,
like really bad.
they
But
wanted to keep like the campy early 90s look, which
which if they
sure.
wanted to do that, they should have just put guys in suits like they did with the original show.
Yeah.
But they did. They decided to go CGI, and it's really bad CGI.
The worst part for me was just how cringy it was and
Well,
it
that's
was just
if you go back and
terrible,
watch the original Power Rangers,
which I
it's
won't.
so cringy. It's so cringy now. And I loved it. I thought it was great for it. They kept the original vibe. They didn't go away from anything. I like that it's basically a love letter to the actress who played Trini and the actor who played Tommy because they both passed away. And I absolutely loved it about that. The suits are awesome. I like the robot Rita. The car, the Rad Bug is back, but it's a new one, and they actually have a license plate saying Rad Bug 2. Um, I love the juice bar. They completely remade it, which was great. I think there's some good CGI in it, like when they morph, the new morphing style is very good. I think that's good CGI. There's another part where they mention JJ, which you guys haven't read the comics, but in the comics, JJ is Tommy's son, and he takes up the mantle of the White Ranger. And they mention him twice, which leaves something open for the comics to come into play, which would be great if they did that. Um, if I'm getting into the bad, which I will, there were the girl who plays Trini's daughter. She goes so campy into the wahs, and it's bad. It's too much, and they don't need to do it, and they do it too often. Um, there's a scene where she steals the rad bug and the whole scene was pointless. There was nothing to it. There was nothing that adds to the story whatsoever. Like she saves two people, and they just happen to be a gay couple, which I think that's the whole point. Because Billy, the actor who played Billy, he left the show because being gay back then wasn't as accepted as it is now, and I think he wanted to put something in there since he wrote this that's showing that it's more accepted. So I guess that's kind of the point, but you can cut that whole scene out and it wouldn't take anything away from the movie. There's some really bad dialogue in it, but like I said, in the original, there's a lot of bad dialogue. I think there's a whole lot that should have been cut out of this. And yeah, I can see where you don't like it, Matt, but as
Well,
somebody who's a huge fan, I
I
absolutely
not
loved
only
it.
don't like it, I hated it. With every being of hate that I could muster, I hated it. I'm mad I watched it. I'm mad I got the text to watch it. I turned it off. I went upstairs and I thought long and hard on how I could get Bandai back for what they just did to me.
Did you
And I
pay
did,
anything to watch this movie?
yes, hard
What'd you
earned
pay?
time. An hour of my time that I could have been outside playing fetch with the dog. I could have been deck building, anything. Hated it.
This makes me rethink our friendship. That's how bad you're making me
Hated it.
feel right now.
Hated it so bad.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. It's not it's not something that it's not for everybody. It's for people who love Power Rangers, and I think that's why I like it so much. It's in 30 years I haven't seen anything about, or
The
well, 25 years I haven't seen anything this close to the Power Rangers I remember. I've seen nothing close to it, and now I got something that makes me remember my childhood because we talked about this in the last episode, Matt. Like for me, there was Power Rangers, and then 2 or 3 years later, we got Toonami and the anime block. So that's where my nostalgia falls into because that was my first viewing of Japanese television was the original Power Rangers. So when anime came along, I fell in love with anime because it was very similar to what I saw in Power Rangers, campy and strange and very different.
I thought they had a good thing going with the remake a couple years ago.
Yeah, we talked about this as well last time. I liked it too. But it's the same thing as Death Note, where some people are gonna hate it because it's not like the original. I could look past it because I understood it was a total remake. It didn't need to be the original. It was its own thing, which was great. Um, but a lot of people just hated the fact that it wasn't the original.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the remake. It's just more geared towards today,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I thought they did a pretty good job. It had its moments. Uh, the final fight scene kind of paid homage to like all those other final fight scenes.
Right.
All in all, if you go in like how I went into it was I'm just watching another action movie.
Hmm.
Like I didn't have to go into it and be like, oh, Power Rangers cool, because I'm not a big Power Rangers guy. I never was. Like I found it like back in the day when martial arts movies were like huge. I didn't like the fake ones. I didn't like the over exaggerated like choreographed ones, like the kiddie ones. So I didn't like Power Rangers, but I liked there was a really good one about the karate Olympic team, and it was super realistic. It was more realistic than like a bunch of teenagers doing pointless backflips.
Hmm.
So I was more into like the adult martial arts movies, which led to me being into martial arts. So going into the new Power Rangers or the once and always, I just still, even as a kid, I didn't like it, and then still today, it's just bad. It's again, it. And I say this about like all newer shows, but especially like Teen Wolf is a good one.
Hmm.
Random backflips, pointless. An explosion happens, and you're doing backflips and front flips. Like it's just over choreographed. It's
No,
just
I agree with
it's
you.
pointless
I
and
agree with you on that. But like I said, this was a love letter in my opinion, in excuse me, to Trini and Tommy. That's what it was. And like I said, I fucking cried when I found out Jason David Frank committed suicide. I genuinely did. I was very upset because he was always. I saw him at Indiana Comic Con 2 years ago, and he was the whole time he talked about self love, and then he commits suicide. It got me. It
no,
genuinely did.
it's a tough one, especially when you go into like mental health and stuff.